Welcome to the Toxic Truth About Water. We're doctors Glenn and Ina, and in this podcast, we're uncovering the hidden dangers lurking in your water and how those contaminants impact your health.
After decades of exploring natural health, we've learned the importance of clean, safe water. And we're here to share that knowledge with each of you. From the effects of toxins and contaminants to the solutions that you need, we've got the inside scoop. So, as we say, let's dive in, let's get started. And what are we talking about today, my baby?
Today, water softeners and water conditioners.
And let me just say,
Yeah,
a lot of you are like, oh, whoop-de-doo. Who cares? And some of you may care because maybe you own a water softener. Some of you maybe are thinking about getting a water softener. So we want to talk about what they are, why you would even use one, what the downside is, and some alternatives and so forth.
things you need to know.
Yep. So typically, homeowners would potentially want a water softener for their home. And a water softener primarily removes hard minerals, mostly calcium, but magnesium could be other minerals. It's removing it from the water, making it soft. So the soft water, what's the point? Because when people live in states or areas where the water is hard, that means the mineral content is high past a certain point, so it's considered hard water, and it will have a very negative impact on your pipes and your plumbing and on any appliances where water travels through, such as washing machine, dishwasher, coffee maker.
I was going to say, there are people who may watch this who didn't even realize that's exactly what it is. If you see a scaly buildup on your faucets, that's a sign of you have hard water.
Often, sometimes, not always, but the spots on your glasses or your shower could also be indicative of hard water. Some people notice that with hard water, their hair and their skin doesn't feel so good. Water softeners use salt and exchange sodium for these minerals. So the water feels a bit slimy and it will prevent that buildup, that calcium carbonate, which is mostly what that scale buildup is. So when people decide to purchase a softener, it will be healthy for the house, meaning that the plumbing, the pipes in the house, the appliances where water travels through will live longer. So it will sustain the life of those appliances and all of your plumbing. So that's the plus side.
But
Yeah.
not good for your body necessarily.
And also not good for the environment.
So again, just to remind you, softeners use either salt or potassium, and they're an ion exchange system that removes the calcium and the magnesium and other hard minerals that are naturally in the water that don't affect the taste, by the way, or clarity, just so we're clear on that. It doesn't affect that, but again, it does show up as spottiness on glass things like shower doors, possibly your glasses, and build up on your appliances, and definitely can take years off your appliances having hard water.
Correct. So, basically the reason that people would buy those softeners. Now, the downside, as we just mentioned, first of all, it's not healthy to add sodium to your water. And it's not like a softener will cause your water to taste salty. Some people taste it because they're that sensitive, but for the most part, it's not necessarily something you would pick up. But over time, adding sodium to your water is not healthy, particularly with people that have a tendency for high blood pressure. Over time, that sodium content, not good for our health. It's definitely not good for the environment.
There are a lot of municipalities that are stopping or now banning it. Entire countries are actually.
Yeah, and in our
It's
country, since that's really what we gear our conversations towards for the most part, there are a couple states that are starting to ban softeners. So the one thing we want you guys to understand, because a lot of people that do have softeners, they also think that their water is not only being softened, but also filtered. And since we're talking about the toxic truth about water, we want you guys to understand that a softener in and of itself is not a filter.
No, absolutely not. It's a big deal. And there are people, many people I've run into believe that that's what was being done to their water when they said, yeah, I have a softener system that cleans my water and it takes the hard. And I go, no, it only takes hardness out of your water. It doesn't remove impurities, contaminants.
Unless some people do purchase a
And
softener with filtration. So that's a whole different story. But when people just have a softener, that is not a filter. So that's the point we want to
yeah,
bring
I want to
across.
make sure that's clear.
Now, the other option, so again, we understand like when you have hard water, you want to protect your house, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, a good alternative when we're just talking not filtration, but just handling the hardness is a conditioner versus a softener. So, remember, so a softener will remove the hard minerals, making it soft, while a water conditioner actually alters the structure of these minerals to prevent them from building up on surfaces.
So let's clarify that because that's really important. So, what you really ideally want to do is simply remove the scaling.
You want to
Sca-
prevent the
You want to
scaling from
prevent
happening.
scaling from happening, but ideally, you want every natural mineral that's in your water to remain in the water. Healthy water contains calcium and magnesium in it.
And other minerals. It's just what's naturally found. It's what's in nature. So we don't want to remove those, but we want to remove the problem that results from it. So the cool thing about conditioners is it will prevent the scale from forming without adding salt and ruining the environment. So conditioners tend to be a better option, right? They tend to be a better option. However, again, like softeners, conditioners are not filters. So in and of themselves, softeners and conditioners are not filters. They are often sold together. So
with a basic carbon filter.
right. So
You know.
that's really the whole point of today. It's
Yeah.
not a whole lot of information, but we did feel that it's important because since we've been living in Florida has hard water in most of Florida. Utah, Arizona, those are some of the other states. There's throughout the country, there are states that have much harder water. And in New Jersey, we never really had to think much about it. But down here in Florida, it's definitely a concern. So that's why we wanted to bring it to your attention. Again, Glenn had said so many people that have softeners, they do believe that their water is, the softener is handling the contaminants. And by itself, a softener will not do that. By itself, a conditioner will not do that. It will make the house healthy, your pipes healthy, your appliances last longer, but it's not going to do anything for your health and your well-being. So that was the point for today's episode.
Absolutely. So remember, again, if you have hard water, our recommendation is think towards conditioning rather than softening because the salt, there's a number of things that we've talked about that are negative about it. So we'll stick on the positive side. So think conditioning when it comes to that. And always remember, conditioners and softeners are not filters. So again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of The Toxic Truth About Water. We hope you're walking away with valuable insights on how to protect yourself and your loved ones from the hidden toxins that we find in our water. And if you found value in today's episode, just be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. And as always, feel free to share this podcast with your friends or family, anyone who could benefit from the information we've shared.
So until next time, guys, remember, we are all in this together. So keep questioning, keep learning, stay healthy, and stay informed. Much love to all of you guys.
Bye
for now.